Callaway Elyte or the TaylorMade Qi35 driver? Which one's going to be better for your game? Which one's going to give you more distance or going to be straighter? Also, are these drivers not just the same using different materials? Let's see exactly how different they are. So kicking it off in gaming position, they look very similar. You've got darker finish in the Elyte, where you see the carbon on the top, where you see the carbon on the top also of the Qi35, but you see this kind of black line at the front which masks the face. Very similar in their footprint down by the ball, like they look big, friendly. We have the grey finish to the black finish in the Callaway Elyte. That's probably the biggest standout visual difference between the two clubs. Both clubs also feature the changeable neck technology. TaylorMade do a much better job of keeping that slim and less offensive. Both of the companies are dealing with the issue of strikes on the face. The new carbon twist face, which is delivering better options with accuracy in theory, trying to keep that ball gearing back on the target rather than offline, is the theory. Also, the carbon face is trying to retain ball speeds on off-center hits to try and give you better consistency of distance across all of the face. Callaway play with their face. They use AI, again trying to keep ball speeds up across the face using variable face thickness. But remember, this is a titanium face, not a carbon face like on the Qi35. Again, trying to keep ball speeds up across the face. So if we go Callaway to start, the feel of this club, so down by the ball sits beautifully square, sits really, really nice. It sounds solid. It has that carbon to titanium kind of sound and feel. So it's not tingy, but it's not too dull. It does just sound very, very solid. Callaways have always sounded superb since they started using AI. If we compare that up to the Qi35, like if you blindfolded me, I don't think you'd tell the difference between these two. The sound is so on point. Like, just fantastic. They both sound so good. Arguably, the Qi35 has that little bit more of a carbon feel sound, but it's a tiny amount, which is quite amazing if you consider it actually is a carbon face on the TaylorMade, where the Callaway obviously is a titanium face. So they're sounding, feeling very similar, even though their use of materials is very different. In the Callaway Elyte, we have 3 individual weight ports, no sliding bar like it used to have. This allows you to move center of gravities to align with strikes and maybe dialing a little bit of shot shaping. Qi35 has a back and a front weight, no moving it from toes to heels. You get the through slot speed pocket, which we've seen on TaylorMade clubs now for a long time. This is trying to retain those ball speeds on those bottom hits, the lower down on the face. The Elyte is talking a lot about shaping, how they've changed the shape to try and increase clubhead speeds as it comes down into the ball, and then with their new crown and position of weight and their face, they can obviously try and keep those ball speeds up when you're mis-hitting slightly as well. So when it comes to looks, feels, I don't think feels going to do much. Maybe if you want a bit more carbon, you might go more TaylorMade than the Callaway, but it's not much in it. Remember, if you like the reviews, do hit that like button to let me know, and make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed to not miss out on the next great review or golf lesson. So for story and tech, they are both punching, they're both shouting, they're both innovating, they're both really trying to push their brand and their product to the max. Which one would you go for maybe on what you're hearing in the video, which will then interpret into feel? Would you go for more the Qi35 in the grey, or do you like the look of the darker finish of the Callaway Elyte? Let me know in those comments below. So if we look at the price of these clubs, they're both very expensive. They're top end. They're 2 of the main brands when it comes to drivers, the biggest names. Also to remember with the price of these 2 clubs is their resale value is good. If you're someone who likes to chop and change driver, trade your old one in to get the latest one, these out of all the manufacturers will hold that value well, which is the only kind of upside. I say hold their value well. Nothing holds its value well. Maybe compared to some other manufacturers, they'll hold their value better. The numbers on both of these clubs are good and so similar, because remember, these clubs are fit and spec'd for what I need, which is an important point to remember in all comparisons. Any two brands compared, if they are fit correctly, are gonna be very close. So spin numbers super similar. If anything, the TaylorMade Qi35, it does worry me a little bit how much the spin just drops down a little bit low on miss hits. It does get a little bit low. So for me, the Callaway has a little bit more sustainability in its spin and its performance across the face. Can I back that up over time with loads of data? I'm trying to, and I'm going to see if that actually comes out, but I'm finding that in quite a few tests now. But equally struck shots, you get the similar carries, very similar spins, similar ball speeds. Like, there's nothing parting them in the ability to hit fairway, shape the ball, hit my longest, hit a fairway finding drive. The numbers, as you can imagine, really solid with both. For me, I'm edging a little bit more towards the Callaway, purely because I just think it's a bit more sustainable across the face. The carbon twist face, whatever version we're up to now, it worries me how low some of the spin gets with the Qi35 on miss hits. And if there's something that all amateurs tend to do, it's miss hit. So what do these drivers say about you as a golfer? I think you see two patterns really, and it's the same with most manufacturers, but these in particular, because of who they really appeal to, is if you are someone who doesn't get custom fit, you just go into a shop and go, I want a driver. The people coming out with this one are often kind of maybe fanboyish and girlish, maybe not thinking it through. The marketing's really paying off. I seen Rory use it, I'll have one of those. If you've got this driver fitted for you, which is hopefully most of you, I don't think either of these drivers say anything about you apart from that you're a serious golfer who wants some of the best equipment you can get your hands on. If I had to make a choice between the two, I think I'm going for Callaway on a fraction, just purely because I like the look of the darker finish that fraction more. And then I'm just going to, in my head, justify that I feel like short and long misses are a bit better. But again, I wouldn't be able to back that up with any truth. That's just the feeling I would get. Which one would you choose and why? TaylorMade Qi35 or Callaway Elyte? What do you reckon? Which one would you choose and why? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want more compares. Loads more coming, and great lessons as well. Also, if you want to learn how to hit these drivers better, that video there is helping so many golfers.